All right, peace. How is everybody enjoying their day today? So I want to talk about the upcoming astrological events that are going to be happening this week. So we're going to start out with, first we're going to have what's called a parade of planets from August 17th until the 23rd. So basically these planets will be aligning, and the planets that will be in alignment is Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn. So Mercury is the planet of communication, of ideals, of technology. And so Mercury, we know Mercury's just coming out of the retrograde. We're coming out of the shadow, which is good, okay? Mercury is still in the sign of Leo, okay? So then we're going to have Jupiter. Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer. Jupiter deals with expansion, growth, good fortune, and synchronicity, okay? Then we have Venus. Venus is also in the sign of Cancer, and you know Venus deals with love, attraction. Venus also deals with wealth, okay? So we're going to be having Uranus. Uranus is in the sign of Gemini. Uranus is revolution. It's innovation, okay? And it can be also rebellion, okay? And then we have Neptune, which is the planet that deals with spirituality and dreams, mysticism, and it deals with divine love, right? It's like a higher octave of like that Venus energy. And Neptune is in Aries along with Saturn. Now, Saturn and Neptune are both retrograde. And we know that Saturn deals with structure, it deals with restrictions, it deals with karma and work and duties, okay? So what does this mean? So when we have a parade of planets where the planets line up as if they were in a parade, it's about alignment. So this is a time, especially because this is all happening as we're coming out of the apex of the Lionsgate energy, which amplified and stirred up a lot of energy within us, helping us to raise our frequency, raise our vibration, and sending down a certain amount of light codes dealing with Sirius, Orion, and our sun, which is in the sign of Leo. So we're going to be experiencing, this is going to be helping us to realign, which is what the Lionsgate does by lifting us up, raising us up. A lot of people, I know I've been having a lot of dreams during this Lionsgate, okay? I had Oya come into my dreams along with Shango. I had Ogun come into my dreams all during this Lionsgate, like very vividly, very vivid dreams, okay? So I've been visited by a lot of spirits, a lot of deities during this Lionsgate, which is good because these were spirits, deities that I was already working with in one way or the other. So, you know, we get a lot of downloads, and that portal, that gateway is open, okay, during that time. So this is a time where we're going to be getting, as we've been raised up, first as we've been purified and clearing certain things, especially with that full moon, because the full moon came right at the end of the Lionsgate. And I know for me, that Lionsgate and the full moon brought up a lot of suppressed emotions, a lot of suppressed thoughts, things, programs, conditioning, and things that I needed to release. But you have to first become aware of it. So I did become very emotional towards the end of the Lionsgate, and I did a lot of releasing, which was good, okay, because I did the Lionsgate ritual. Then I noticed after that period of releasing, I started to feel like a lot of tingling in my crown and third eye. Like I could feel like as if I was vibrating, like there was something vibrating very quickly in the crown and third eye section of my head. I've been feeling that all day. So the ritual that I did, and I would like for anyone who purchased that Lionsgate ritual from me to potentially, email me or message me and let me know, how did it affect you? Because I have been feeling it, okay? I have been feeling it. Like I said, first it was the purge, it was the releasing. First it was the coming up. And as it comes up, when we feel it, we get to release it. If you can't feel it, you can't heal it, okay? That's a part of the process. Some people never heal. feel and never release and transmute energy, because they're always stuffing it down, and they go into like a numbing phase, or they disassociate, or they project it, and they don't allow themselves to experience it, to feel it, and even to sit with it. Sometimes you have to sit with uncomfortable feelings and emotions and thoughts, because that's a part of you processing those. And if you shut that down, if you start trying to numb it by, and people use all kind of methods, different drugs and coping mechanisms and different things that they can do to try to suppress that, you never release it, you never process it, you never transmute it, and you end up carrying that stuff with you, which ultimately lowers your frequency, your vibration, and affects your ability to manifest, because we manifest not what we want, but what we are, what we're carrying, what we're vibrating at. And I'm going to talk about it in another video. I've been kind of like preparing a talk to have with you guys about frequency, vibration, and law of attraction, but not today. That'll be for another video. I'm working on it. So like I said, we have this parade of planets that's going to be coming, and the apex of it, the ending date of it, is going to be on the upcoming new moon, which is a special new moon. But before that, we're going to have on the 22nd, the sun is going to move into Virgo. Now, Virgo rules the 6th house. Virgo is an earth sign. It's a mutable earth sign, and it's ruled by Mercury. Okay, so Virgos, y'all might have been feeling challenged because you just had that retrograde, and we're coming out of it now. We're still in the shadow, but we're coming out, so things are starting to get better, right? Okay, but also because of we're moving into the sign of Virgo. Virgo deals with our health, and it also deals with work and being in service to others as well. So this is going to be a time where the focus is going to shift. This is going to be a good time, especially with this new moon. Now, this new moon that we're going to have on the 23rd is a special new moon. It's known as a black moon. And the reason it's called a black moon is because anytime that there is, this is the third new moon in a season, the third of 4 new moons that we're going to have in the season of summer, right? And so this is a very special event. This only happens every 33 months or so. So it's going to be quite a while before we have another black moon. So the black moon is more intense. We know that the moon, when we have the new moon, you don't see the moon, okay? It's right at the beginning before the first little slither comes up, right? So this is a time, the new moon is a time for planting seeds for new things that you want to manifest in your life. Now, this new moon, I feel, especially because it's a dark moon, first of all, Lilith, the goddess Lilith, is connected to the moon, okay? And this particular black moon is really, her energy is going to be very present, okay? The dark feminine energy. So other dark feminine archetypes that are also connected to the moon, like Hecate, is another deity whose energy will be strong. We know that Venus, okay, Venus has a light and a dark side, okay, just like most deities do. There's a dark aspect to her, right? So these energies, the dark goddesses energies, are going to be very strong and very present during this moon. This is like the new moon is a 0-degree energy, so this is going to be amplified, okay? So this is going to be a very, very, very powerful new moon for manifesting new things. Now, because this new moon will be in Virgo, there's going to be a stronger emphasis on your health, routines, and also being in service in your work. Now, but any new moon, you can use it to manifest other things like love and wealth, and success and other things as well. But there's going to be a strong emphasis, like I said, because of that Virgo energy, because we know that when the moon is new, the sun and the moon are in the same position, okay? So I'm going to be doing a black moon ritual, like I do these community service rituals. So the way that the ritual is set up, there'll be a focus on several areas, which is either empowering yourself through the energy of the dark feminine, love, wealth, and good health. So for each petition that you want, you will have to purchase a separate ritual, okay? We're not going to, some of y'all make these real long petitions for one ritual, okay? So if you want love, that's one petition, that's one ritual. If you want to also include wealth, that's another ritual. If you want to empower yourself, that's another ritual, okay? So you have to decide, If you want to do more than one petition, you're going to need to purchase more than one ritual. They're only $88. I try to make these rituals as affordable as possible, because they're more community service oriented, to kind of help people, you know, more in a general basis. These rituals aren't as long as, you know, the other rituals that you purchase from my website, but they do pack a wallop now, okay? And they do have a good and positive effect, and especially if you're the type who purchase these rituals on a regular basis, you will see a larger impact. Some people purchase these rituals to back up what they're doing, you know, have me back up their work, which is also a good practice too, okay? So we've got the parade of planets. That's the first thing that I wanted to focus on. I already talked about Sun's moving into Virgo, and then we have this new moon, which is referred to as a black moon. Now let's talk about the goddess Lilith, okay? Because I did a whole long lecture on the divine feminine energy and talked about Lilith. Now Lilith is a deity. I feel like she's given such a bad name. They have demonized Lilith. There's this movie called Pure. Go look it up. It's on, I think it's on Hulu, and you might be able to find it on some other streaming services as well, but Lilith is in the movie Pure, okay? Now Lilith is the first woman. I tell people all the time, I am not a child of Eve. I am not a daughter of Eve. I am a daughter of Lilith, y'all, okay? Lilith cannot be tamed. She is the wild woman. She is actually Adam's first wife, not Eve, okay? And the way that it goes is that Adam and Lilith were created simultaneously, okay? Simultaneously. She was not made from Adam's rib, okay? Eve is the first clone, okay? That's something else, okay? So what happened was Lilith did not want to submit to Adam. Adam wanted her to be underneath him in the act of sex, and she refused. She said, I was created simultaneous with you. I am your equal, and I will not be underneath you. And she instigated the first divorce, and they say she flew off and went to the Red Sea, okay? And Yahweh sent his angels after her, okay? And she refused to come back, okay? And so also there's a part of the mythology that talks about her marrying the angel Samuel and having children, and how they killed Lilith's children, and this is what turned the Red Sea red. Okay, so she's connected to the Red Sea. She's also connected to the energy of the moon. So Lilith represents the dark side, the dark feminine. She is a deity that cannot be tamed. She is a deity that is dominant. If you're a woman and you're having a problem with people dominating you, or you don't feel like you're in your power, your dark divine feminine power, your dark feminine power is very powerful. Don't mistake it for this Jezebel spirit energy, okay? I'm talking about divine dark feminine, not wounded dark feminine energy, where it is manipulative and abusive, and you know, this imbalanced energy that you see people out here in. That's not what I'm talking about, okay? I'm talking about the energy of the dark feminine energy. Everything comes out of darkness. Darkness is powerful, okay? And darkness carries its own light. Now, Lilith is a deity that can help you get control over your life, help you to heal especially if you're going through a dark night of the soul and you need to heal a lot of feminine energy within yourself. You're having relationship issues, she's very good for that as well, getting control over your life, getting control in relationships, making you more attractive, more seductive, because her energy is very seductive, very empowering, okay? Also, she can help you with wealth. She can help you with prosperity. She can help you with healing yourself and healing that feminine energy. And I'm going to tell you right now, there is a lot of healing that needs to happen within the feminine and dark feminine energy, because there's been a lot of demonization of that energy. There's been a lot of trauma. Even in the collective unconsciousness of women, they've programmed so much trauma into that energy. That's the energy of the witch, the energy of the wise woman, the energy of the high priestess, okay? And this is, you know, they did a lot of things to suppress that energy over time. They made witch a bad word, and they hung and killed and burned so many witches because they were trying to not depressed. They probably made you depressed, but they were trying to suppress and usurp the energy of the dark feminine. Well, that energy is stepping back up in a major way, okay? So it's time for us to align with that frequency. It's time for us to embody that frequency more. It's time for us to reclaim our power, especially as women, okay? And through this new moon, this is going to be an extremely powerful time to reclaim your power, your energy, your strength, to heal that dark feminine energy. And by aligning with this energy, it's going to make you more powerful. It's going to make your manifestations in general more powerful. The spiritual and magical and ritual work that you do is going to be more powerful, because that part of us is so wounded, okay? I'm speaking from my own experience. I know Lilith came to me a long time ago. When you read in the Bible and they talk about that serpent that was in the garden, that was Lilith. Lilith was the serpent. She's also connected to that serpent energy. Now, the first time you speak of Lilith is in the Gilgamesh, where he talks about how Inanna was wanting to build her throne. And she went to what they call the Halupa tree. And she went in there, and there were 3 things in the Halupa tree, okay? There was a bird, there was a snake, and there was Lilith. Now, Lilith is connected to the bird, but she's connected to the owl. And she's also connected to the serpent. So they also say that Lilith is Inanna's handmaiden, okay? But Inanna was, wanting to build her throne, and she had these things in her tree, the bird, the serpent, and Lilith. And Gilgamesh was the one who was able to get Lilith out of the tree, okay? So she's associated. They call it the Halupa tree, but some people say it's the willow tree, okay? But anywho, so Lilith energy is also connected to trees. So you can connect with her by connecting with trees, by connecting with the moon. She's connected also with the water. There's an aspect of her that's connected to the fire. You'll also hear mention of her. They call them the Lilitu, which is multiple spirits, okay? So she is really she's really more like from the Mesopotamian times, which we have to realize the Akkadian and Mesopotamians were the cradle of civilization, basically, okay? So she's a very powerful, very phenomenal deity to work with. Now, men don't usually work with her, but you can, okay? There are some men who do, but she's definitely a woman's deity, okay? And if you want to get into your power, you want to get into your magical bag, you want to be able to be more dominant, you want to heal that wounded feminine energy within yourself, you want to manifest under this energy of the dark moon. Dark energy is very powerful to manifest with, okay? So I'm not going to keep you guys too long because it's kind of late. And I've been up today. I've been doing my rituals, and I've been creating oils and different things this weekend. So I've been quite busy. But I wanted to come on and talk about what's to come this coming week for those of you who like to align your rituals with the different cycles astrologically, which I find is a good time to do that. Another good thing that you can do during this new moon too is if you want to sever ties, break cords, cleansings are going to be very powerful during this time. Breaking bindings is going to be very powerful this time. I've got some work to do for some clients, and I'm going to do their cord cuttings and their bindings during this black moon, because the energy is going to be so intense. It's going to be really good for that too. So it's going to be good for cutting and clearing, but also for manifesting. It just depends on how you want to use that dark energy. All right, y'all. Peace and love. Enjoy your upcoming week.